Hello, welcome to the Art of Shame-Free Living podcast. Today I want to talk about certainty. I actually coach in another coaches group about anxiety for women, and we talk a lot about anxiety, and anxiety is often connected to this idea of like, I want to know what is going to happen. What is the worst case scenario, right? My brain is constantly ruminating on these thoughts of what might happen and what can be. And it might lead to things like panic attacks or, to have a real serious anxiety disorder. Some of the women in this group, it's really hard for them to leave the house or to drive or to interact with other people. It's impacted their lives, their relationships, their jobs, their freedom. And anxiety often comes from wanting certainty. I read in one of Brianna Weiss's book also that anxiety is shame. And in that moment, I was like, oh yeah. Because on the surface, anxiety feels like all of this fear and worry and doubt and what's going to happen. But underneath the surface, it's really asking us about our capacity. It's like, can I handle this? Is this too much for me? Will people accept me or will they not, right? Social anxiety, what are they going to be thinking about me? Those are all shame at the surface also. So I love coaching and talking about anxiety. But so this brings me to certainty. What we really want is certainty. We're like, well, if I knew that people were going to accept me, well, if I knew that it was going to work out, well, if I knew that I wasn't going to get a car crash when I got out in my car, well, if I knew that my day was going to be just fine, then I could feel calm. Then I could feel peaceful. Then I could feel regulated. But the truth is there is no such thing as certainty. Certainty is a complete illusion, right? We don't know what's going to happen when we step outside our door. We know what's likely. We know what's probable. We know what's predictable. We know what has happened over and over and over again, so it probably will happen, but we don't actually know, right? Everybody knows this logically. We're like, life can change on a dime. You can lose your job. You can lose your life. You can lose your friendships. Who knows what's actually going to happen each day? That can just randomly come at you and you can be like, okay, wow, I was not expecting that. And in those moments, we're like, okay, wait, there really isn't any such thing as certainty. But when we get into the monotony of just the day-to-day routine and things go the same way over and over and over again, we get into this idea of this illusion of certainty that it really is something that's tangible, something that's outside of ourselves, something that we can grasp at, but we can't. So as I was pondering uncertainty, I was thinking certainty is real within us. Certainty is actually a feeling. Certainty is a feeling that we can find in our body. We can find within ourselves, and we can feel that grounded, peaceful certainty feeling that we want, regardless of what is happening around us. And this is life-changing, that I don't have to change the things around me to feel the certainty inside that I feel like I desperately want, because our brains just love certainty. They crave it, but I can feel that feeling. And that feeling comes from its opposite, comes from feeling its opposite. So stay with me for a minute. I want you to think about the level of anxiety, worry, doubt, fear that you have being on the one side of the equation. And remember how emotions are tunnels, going through the emotional tunnel, and on the other side of the tunnel is just as much, to the exact same amount, the opposite, the certainty, the groundedness, the peace, the calm that we want. And we can't reach over top of the tunnel and grab that feeling and just put it into our body. We actually have to move through the tunnel. And it's moving through the tunnel that transmutes it in our body, that alchemizes it, that changes it within our system. But we have to get into our system in order for that transmutation to happen. We can't just imagine and pretend and hop over it to get to something else. So what we want to do first is we want to actually sit with that feeling of not feeling certain. It's like digging more deeply into the pain, digging more deeply into that emotional discomfort and pain and that icky feeling that we feel inside. It's staying with it in my body. It's digging more deeply into that feeling. And as I do, I notice that it starts to shift and transmute and change. And eventually I will reach the bottom of that. I think of it a tunnel that actually goes kind of up and down because it feels like deepening and deepening and deepening. And eventually I reach the bottom and then it releases. And then I feel something completely different. That calm just comes. It just is a gift that comes as I allow it to be changed in my body, as I allow that release in my body. So again, you can go back to those subconscious practices that I shared on the podcast before if you want help doing this yourself. You can also reach out to me because I can help you through this as well. But I really do believe that certainty is a feeling in our body, that we are the creators of that certainty, and that it comes from its opposite, that its opposite isn't a problem. It's not a problem to feel anxiety or shame or doubt or worry or fear. It's what we do next. It's our next step. It's not telling us, oh, there really is a big problem. It feels that way. Our nervous system is like, it's a problem. It has to be solved right now. But as we're feeling that, we can just notice, okay, my capacity to feel all of this feeling can also be transmuted into something different. That helps me see my capacity on the other side, helps me feel my capacity on the other side. So give that a try, see how it works, see how it feels for you, and see how anxiety, fear, doubt, worry, certainty change within your system and get familiar with the feeling of certainty, which I really think is the feeling of safety, of security, of groundedness, of trust. Trust in myself, trust in that everything is happening for my good, in the timing that it needs to, in the way that it needs to. Trust in the universe, trust in God, trust in something higher than myself, and trusting that godness, that divinity that I also find within me. Thomas Merton calls it the God spark, the God that's within me, connected to the God that's outside of me. And that is what we're looking to find, is that feeling of groundedness, that feeling of peace. We will reconnect to us and our own inner knowing and our own inner intuition as we do this work. So go ahead, try it out. As always, comment below. Even if you disagree, comment below and I would love to chat it out with you. And we will see you next week. Thanks for being here, and share with a friend if you like this episode. See you next time. If you are enjoying these episodes, I would love for you to follow, subscribe, like, share, do all those things so that it can get more out into the world, more out into the algorithm, and join me in this shame-free movement.